you know, but for what it's worth, right? Again, to, you know, re-explain the situation, Boss Joker is currently the rally lead that is trying to grab back a leader that NGZ is currently in control of. And again, these guys are kind of, I want to say they've got tier 4 reinforcements, but so do they. This is kind of a gamble between both sides, depending on how you see it, because yeah, you got tier 3s, tier 4s on both sides that are just kind of piling in. And again, yeah, you know, I really don't know exactly what to expect here. We're gonna find out though. It looks like he's getting filled, so again, mind you, okay, it's very important to notice though that, you know, in his case, he is wearing a mainly infantry set versus what appears to be a mostly range set, which is the proper counter, alright, when it comes to the actual stats in regards to this rally that apparently is not going on. So again, 343, 164, guys. Let's see how this goes down. Again, this is another example of like active rallies when they actually go down. Again, if you guys want context, this is in Kingdom 40. I don't think I had permission from either one of these guilds, but we just kind of caught it, so... but DFU is one of our allies, so I'll probably talk to him. Oh, he's burning. 138 million after 341. Completely, yeah, completely, utterly destroyed from that rally, it looks like. I would say they probably won that rally. But yeah, it is noteworthy to point out that it's not over yet. So, you know, before we get too hasty into this. But I will say that he definitely didn't win that. Like that. But yeah, I would say though that that's kind of what I would expect. I mean, he pretty much did everything you're supposed to do. You know, get the right type of gear for the type of target that you're up against. And from my experience, you know, it's like, rallies wise, it seems to me that the more tier 4s you have, the better. Like, tier 3 rallies versus a tier 4 player never end well, and it could be like 800,000, and the guy could have like 2 to 300,000. He's still gonna win at 2 to 300,000 tier 4. It's crazy, but I mean, tier 4 in this game have a pretty powerful punch to them. Like, they can carry a considerable amount. Now, I don't know exactly the story here. I don't know if they're all... I'm thinking they're one-trooping them. I'm thinking that's the story here. I don't know if they follow this up with another rally. This is gonna be pretty bad. Like, this guy's gonna have a problem. Ooh, 58 mil, 55. Yep, that guy took a small hit. Again, you gotta be really careful about that, because when you reinforce, and this goes for anybody when you actually do rallies, guys, if you are the reinforcer and you have your army returning, you do not by any means want to get caught having somebody come by and hit you like that, or you're gonna lose your troops. And yeah, obviously if you send in infirms with, you're usually okay. So just, you know, tool of the trade if you're gonna go reinforcement, you know, on the rally. You just want to be a little careful about doing that kind of thing. It looks to me like they are in fact rallying him again. So they're gonna go for the second punch. And again, remember, this guy was around 160 million before. He's 138 now, so yeah, I'm not really so sure what this rally is gonna look like on the second time around. Let's see what he did for his gear. So, oh, again, he has not changed his gear. So, as long as that holds up, then this guy's still going to be in the, you know, assuming that even, now noticeably, he is now in cav gear. So that tells us a lot about what's currently going on. So, you know, again, it's an interesting decision to go from infantry to cavalry. So it must mean he must only have cavalry. Meaning that he's got infantry in his fort. So this is probably going to be a cavalry-focused rally. And again, this is mostly cavalry for the most part, with the Dragon's Fist and most of those items. I mean, it's a little bit more imp in there too. Still, like you still got a little bit of imp in there, but it's mainly cavalry. Which for this rally, I think this guy's probably going to do pretty well. But again, we'll have to wait and see. And in terms of sets, right? I'll probably investigate, probably making me a good set of war gear for this kind of thing. Because, to be quite honest with you, at 340 mil, this guy's really not doing too bad for a rally lead. Even though he's not like the greatest rally lead you could possibly have, he's really not doing too bad. It seems to me this guy here is probably playing bait. So he's feeding resources to the people that are probably sending those reinforcements. And again, you know, this is a fairly expensive thing for this guild to probably take on, seeing as how I don't think they've been in this kingdom very long, just based on, well, a few things. But, you know, again, I don't know the whole story with this guild, I really don't. But from what I can see, this is not going to end well for them. Especially if this guy tries to eat this. Like, I'm not thinking this is going to end well. But again, we don't know what the reports look like, so when we actually, hopefully I'll be able to get DFU to maybe send us those reports so that we can have a good look at that. And again, I'll do some contacting and we'll find out exactly how that all goes down. You know, just to avoid any discrepancies, because again, you know, like, and we can only say so much based on what we can actually see here. But again, these are the kind of rallies that are always fun to watch, because again, these are active rallies. You know, these are people that are fully aware of what they're doing. Now, it does appear this guy is bailing, so yeah, he's going on the full bail. So it appears to me that he is emptying out his fort. I would assume that he's probably getting ready to shield. I'm thinking, but you know, again, it really does kind of boil down to whether he can or not. And that's if he has any troops, because from what I can see, I don't think he does. But because those one troop marches that they sent at him probably should not have burned his castle down. But again, if they follow through with the rally, then I guess we'll see exactly what ends up becoming of that. If I were them, though, I would have probably followed through with, you know, actually go after those guys that are up here, so like, you know, take down their reinforcements. That's exactly what you should do, anyway. I mean, just coming from experience, look, if you really want to wipe a guy of like his ability to get reinforcements anymore, just go after the people reigning, because they're gonna slow them down pretty bad. And as you see before, like, most people aren't able to, like, they're not quick enough. If you can hit them, because you're gonna get them probably, whether you're even a hair of a second off. I mean, you're still, it takes you gotta be pretty quick. And so that rally canceled. So looks to me a whole lot like these guys are probably going to bail, because this guy's probably, for the most part, my guess is he's probably zeroed, because I really can't see how they've been able to send one troop marches and he's able to eat it. Now again, you know, here comes another march, where, again, I don't know if this guy's aware, but yeah, and see there, he didn't lose anything. No, he did. Yeah, he went from 55 to 49, so there's another serious might drop. And again, you gotta be really careful about that, because if you don't, I mean, like I said, if you're not careful, that will come to bite you. It really will. It just doesn't end well. Never does. And so now he went ahead and relocated. Noticeably, this guy did take about a mil-ish drop, so he must have reinforced him. This one took a million-ish might drop, so either way, whatever came out of that must have not been very good. Oh, here comes another merch. So 50 mil, 45. That's again a fair drop. It's really not clear how many exactly that these guys are losing. And again, we don't have the reports, but The might drop on that's pretty bad. Okay, so it looks like boss checkers either garrisoning or reinforcing, but either way. Yeah, okay, there's a, now he's at 42. It's not looking good. Yeah, so here comes the little saint. Oh, and he's shielded. Which is probably not a bad idea. Probably saved his leader in the process. Okay, so it looks like they're gonna follow up another rally. But upon whom this time, I wonder? Kind of curious as to whom. And again, this is the only thing about, you know, tier 3s. You gotta be really careful. I mean, the tier 3 players always have it worse off than tier 4s because they're the ones that can get 0 a lot easier than a tier 4 player. Like, my recommendation too, when you're being a traffic guys, be that guy. Okay, because people like this are gonna hit and they think that you're reinforcing. If you want to know a trick about, like, you know, actual trapping, this is how I trap. Is I take advantage of this kind of stupidity right here. Because he's just blindly hitting these guys. He doesn't take the time to scout or anything. He's just seeing it as it is. So if you're a trap account and you're having a hard time getting kills, this is what I recommend you do. Is get yourself in pairs with, you know, somebody that's doing the scouting, the rallying, whatever. But put yourself right beside their crosshairs. And take advantage of this kind of, you know, this blind attacking that they're doing right now. So again, this guy's at 70, and yeah, he's still at 70. So I would say whatever they're trying to get out of him, he's either sheltered it or he's managed to put most of it away, which is probably not a bad thing. Let's take a look and see what exactly is going on over here. So again, it looks to me like they're kind of just transferring resources. Because again, whenever you do these kind of things, you got to be really careful about your resources. I'm assuming they're probably reinforcing that guy, but let's see how that'll do them much good. Oh, it looks like Crumpier's gonna get hit again. So again, he's at 67. Got burned, and he's at 64. So he took a bit of a might drop there. Again, I imagine most of these are probably getting thrown in the infirm guys. Like, the actual damage here is probably pretty minimal, but it does appear to me that, see, here comes Splash. Again, you can see the Joker is trying to reinforce, but every time he does, he's always a second or two late, but this time it looks like he might actually get it. So, oh, he ate that march. He's at 329. That was a bit of a oh my. Notice that he was at 340 earlier. That was a bit of a drop there. Oh dear. How much of it? Ooh. That was a bit of a drop. That was quite a bit of a drop actually, coming out of Splash. Because he was at around 129 earlier. That was a bit of a drop. Little Saint's doing it 249 though, so he's okay. But again, I really wish we could see some of these reports, but yeah, just on the face of them, they look pretty bad. But again, you know, it's really hard to determine what these guys are losing. But I can tell you that, you know, a 20 mil drop gets 10 million back. I would assume he's losing. He's losing. He probably lost some tier 4s, but you know, again, we don't really know. It's hard to tell. But again, it's pretty nuts that these guys are taking the type of losses that they are. But again, this is, you know, you almost expect as much when you're doing these kind of attacks. It's always pricey on either guild. It's never cheap. Never ends well. This is why a lot of the time, most of the major tier 4 players, whenever they do rallies and such, you gotta make sure that you've got enough tier 4 players, enough tier 3 players. You gotta have a lot of meat on the bone to keep those rallies going, because you will grind through a lot of troops if you're really trying to get through some of these tier 4 players. It's gonna be pretty tough. But again, you know, we'll see. And the only thing is that what they did is they went after the tier 3 players first, which is always good, right? If you want a definitive strategy as to how you could stop somebody from being able to rally, They start going after the weakest targets, and so what they did is they just went after all their tier 3 players. By stripping them of those tier 3 players, they don't have near as many reinforcements on the back end. Now that doesn't mean those tier 4s aren't there and that they still can't kick a punch there, it's just now they don't have near as much tier 3 buffer. But in the case of Boss Joker, he's getting raids from his guild, and his guild's not but right over here. You know, like, they're literally just over there. Yeah, so the distance is so small that it's not as effective. It would be different if they were like miles apart, but this is not the case. Okay, now, of course, tier 3 players here are kind of pulling out. Which again, you'd expect as much. I'm assuming Boss Joker is just reinforcing these guys, which is probably not a bad mindset. That first one we saw, he garrisoned. Because that first initial attack, he practically ate the whole damn thing, whatever he sent. Alright, so we went back to check the DFU hive, and it seems that these guys are kind of following through with what I was talking about earlier. They're just going after basically everybody that was reinforcing the rally. So they're just basically targeting all the key players. So this guy here, they're gonna rally, it looks like. And it's probably not a bad decision to try and rally this guy, because this guy here is just kind of causing more anger. And this time he has another leader from DFU, so you would expect as much, right? You know, they're gonna probably continue. And wow, you know, and so here's the thing, right? Even though Splash has been partially weakened, you know, the thing about this kind of stuff is that you really don't know why this guy, like, looks like he's zeroed. But it looks to me like he probably isn't, as you can see, he's got some troops still, so he's still kicking. I'm kind of curious what's gonna happen here. Oh, he went right. He blindsided me. I thought he was going for silent there for a second. My bad. All the same, though. I mean, if they're gonna continue to target like that, though, they're gonna get hurt pretty bad. Like, that is not gonna end well for them. But you know, again, we'll see. Oh, really? Cool. What we're currently watching, in case anyone's wondering, is we're actually watching basically NGZ and DFU in Kingdom 40. So we're watching them duke it out. Originally, this started out as NGZ had control of some of the lower tier 3 players in DFU. Now they've taken another one. So again, the rally lead, who is Boss Joker in this case, is basically, yeah, he's targeting these guys like crazy, you know. Again, it looks like he ported, so it's gonna be kind of, it's gonna be pretty difficult to determine exactly where this guy's run off to.